The Style Method Podcast, helping you avoid fashion disasters one sassy tip at a time. Celebrity and high-end personal stylist Amy Salinger dives into style wins, fashion fails, and closet confessions with women of all shapes, budgets, and lifestyles. Expect expert tips, unfiltered advice, and maybe a little tough love, all in the name of great style. It's time to unlock your signature look. Welcome back to the Style Method Podcast, where it is real talk, real style, real you. I'm your host, Amy Salinger, celebrity and high-end personal stylist and founder of the Style Method system. And today we are talking to Katelyn Hamilton, who is not only my business coach, but she is also a personal client of mine. You want to hear about all the things about working with a stylist, specifically me? That is what we are going to talk about today. She herself is a female entrepreneur. She is the queen of simplifying complex situations, whether it's a messy back end or an overwhelming team or a vision that needs the proper strategy implemented. It's why I hired her. But she herself was not showcasing that on the outside. And I slowly but surely said, Katelyn, we talk about all things fashion all the time. Let me help you. I want to get into your closet. I want to have your authentic self being showcased more confidently on the outside. And so she took that leap. She jumped in. She worked with me. And we are here to tell you all about what it is like. So let's get into it with Katelyn right now. I am so excited. Today I have my friend, my client, my business coach, Katelyn Hamilton. Hello and welcome to the podcast, Katelyn.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I mean, you were basically dragged on here. I was like, you will be doing this podcast. And here you are, which I love. I want to give a little bit of background to our fabulous and glorious relationship. Katelyn, how about this? Tell us a little bit about what you do. And then I want to talk about how I found you, why we decided to work together, and how we started working together on your fashion and your style. The longer we were together, you couldn't stay away. Exactly.
Hi everyone. I'm Katelyn and I'm a business coach. So I help specifically female entrepreneurs who already have a business in place, so established business owners, to streamline and scale their business. So ultimately, a lot of women and men get into this business doing something that they love, and they create the business, they figure it out as they go, and then they get to a place where they're like, I can't continue to work like this. We need better systems in place, better organization, better structure, give you back your time, your sanity, and then allow you to scale and grow from that point.
I put all the things in the Google machine. I was looking for a female coach. I was looking for someone who specialized with entrepreneurs, looking for someone that could scale, could help me with my systems, and basically someone I wanted to hang out with. And a big thing that you work with, as you said, and I am, is moms trying to do it all.
Yes. I would say I'm also a mom of 3. I love being able to support moms, especially, and whether that be stepping into that transition of motherhood or in motherhood and trying to redefine how they need to work to keep their sanity, because we all know as moms, you carry a lot. You can't really separate the two. So I'm kind of here to support people through that journey, as I kind of did with mine. My goal is to support women in realizing that they can do that. You don't have to be tied to your business in order to be successful.
I mean, one of the big reasons why I came to you is, listen, my business was operating I was at 20 years when I started working with you, and I had one coach before, and she was very useful for what I needed in that moment, which was transferring over my entire business from in-person to virtual. I was just like a lost little puppy that was like, help me. I don't know what I want my life to look like. Meanwhile, I was 41 and I was just like flailing. And she was amazing for that. By the time I got to Katelyn, to you, everything was up and running. I'd been virtual for 5 years. I had virtual systems in place. I had a business that was running on its own, but it was being held together by Band-Aids on the back end. No clients really going to be aware of that, but I was definitely aware. And when you have a business that is being held together by said Band-Aids, there is no way to grow. There is no way to scale. There's no way to hand off tasks to someone else. And you swooped in. And I have since grown to have, I have a team of people now that's working for me.
Yeah.
Like I can be like, I don't feel like doing that. Hand it off. And I'm like, oh shit, this is delightful.
It's the dream, right?
It's the dream. So, it has been magical watching my business grow, seeing my bank account grow, seeing my employees grow, having all the systems in place. And once things were running smoothly, I mean, not once, let's be real. You and I always talked about your fashion and your style. There's really no way when you're talking to a stylist all the time for it not to be a thing.
Yeah.
To talk about.
Well, and that's the great thing is that I have clients across all different industries. And what I love is that I can kind of use their knowledge and expertise to help me. I mean, why not? We have a mutually, beneficial relationship here. And I obviously want to use your expertise where I can. And it's been really helpful. And also, I will say it makes you really self-aware of your own fashion and style when you're working with a stylist and you're like, oh, wow, let me just call out the elephant in the room that I wear yoga pants every single day.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, listen, the reality is you have had a front row seat to all things StyleMethod, to said methods. I mean, you're helping me to grow and scale the methods while not necessarily utilizing them yourself. And I just was like, Katelyn, can we do this already? Like, please let me be a part of your journey as well. I mean, part of what you do, and that only promotes the fact that you should be working with me, is you're all about outsourcing, right?
Yep. I love it.
I mean, it's the whole concept of you can't do it all yourself. It is impossible.
And I think we can, I don't know if you want to dive into this now too, but like so much of it too, I think for me is like, it's that identity shift between motherhood and business. And it's almost like you don't realize it until you're in it or past it that like, oh, like my life is not the same. Obviously, I know that as it used to be, but who am I? It's almost like you're kind of in this limbo, especially if you're a mom of young kids and you're in those early days, you're surviving, you're straight up surviving every day. And you don't really give a shit what you're wearing because you're just like, it's going to get spit up on it. It's going to, you know what I mean? Like I have a 5 and a 3-year-old, so it's much better now, but in the early days when I had a newborn and a 22-month-old or a 1-year-old and a 2.5-year-old or 3-year-old, I had, dirty hands on me at all times. And I felt like, why spend money on clothes when they're just going to be ruined? And so much of my identity for so long was just like motherhood. And I didn't really have the capacity to think beyond like into my wardrobe. You know what I mean? And so I think that got put on the back burner for so long, and there's never really like a right time, or now there's like this evolution of like, okay, I'm going to invest in my wardrobe now. Like you don't really like wake up and decide that one day unless you're like kind of like subtly prompted, I would say, along the way. So that's been one thing that as we've worked together over the last year plus, it's kind of like, oh, it's giving me this like open eye to be like, okay, like what could I look like? What is my fashion? What is my style? What does that look like as a mom? I mean, it definitely doesn't look like it did in my 20s.
It's not supposed to.
I know.
I want to like people are so latched on to like, well, in 5 pounds, or when I'm going to more dinners or events, or there's always some like in the future. And I'm like, the future is now. Like you need to be the best version of yourself, whoever that may be. It is not the old you. Get that out of your head. Like we have evolved past that. It was even hard for me when I became a mom. I was like, who am I? What am I supposed to be wearing? I'm working virtually and I'm a mom and I don't live in New York City. Like it was such a hard shift for me. And I'm the stylist. So like, I always want to remind people the moment is now, because feeling good about yourself changes everything in your day-to-day life. And it's not something that you're like, who cares? I'll do that later. Well, who cares means you just put on a shitty, ratty old t-shirt, and guess what? Now you feel shitty, ratty, and old. Whereas all you need to do is put on a clean, well-fitted t-shirt, and it changes your vibe. It changes your energy.
It changes your energy. Yeah. That's, I think, the biggest thing for me is like, yes, I personally still love wearing yoga pants and a tank top or whatever. Like I am a casual, and we can get into my style adjectives in a minute, but like girl at heart, that is me. But I will say, since we have started working together and I put on, a dress like I'm wearing today, I'm wearing this, cute denim dress. I feel better about just myself. And I think energetically that comes off because I'm more confident and I'm more put together. And that helps also me attract the ideal clients that I want to attract as well. So I think I finally connected the dots and seeing the importance of like, okay, I want to attract this audience and these people. And in order for me to do that, I have to show up in that way. And I'm not really doing it. I'm showing up authentically as me, and me, like on the back end, like I'm as real as it gets. But I was not showing up visually in that same way in my appearance, and it was impacting people's perceptions of me. And whether we like it or not, perception is reality. And that's important in this space, in this online world where people judge you in 0.5 seconds and you gotta look put together.
Less. I love that you took the lead. I'm like, we're going to get into my style adjectives. I think you're the one that took that whole formula of style adjectives and was like, this is what we're going to run with. We're going to build everything around it, because it is true. You were able to see from an outsider's perspective that like it is your forever filter. Like once you understand your style adjectives by taking my 4-question quiz, very easy, at StyleMethodPodcast.com. I mean, you're literally looking at 10 photos and picking your favorite for each question. It's not exactly rocket science, but which is the point. Once you do that, you can say, oh, okay, this doesn't suit me. This doesn't match my style adjectives. Toss it from my closet. Or like, you're out, you're looking at a top and you're like, what am I going to wear this with? And you're like, nothing, because it doesn't match my style adjectives. It's more of like a fantasy of who I think I want to be. And, the whole point of what I do is I want to match the reality of your authentic lifestyle with who you are authentically inside. And out the other end comes this authentic style. And finding out, discovering your style adjectives is the first way to do this. So what did you get as your style adjectives?
So I am, unsurprisingly to me, casual, and preppy.
All right. So in our world, that means you are super casual with a touch of prep. And for those that have not taken the style adjective quiz, the way it works is there is literally 4 questions. There are 10 items in each question. You pick your favorite, and the key on the other side spits out a style adjective for each of those 4 questions. If you get the same adjective more than once, it means you really lean into that adjective. If you get it 3 times, you're an anomaly, and Katelyn must be the most casual person in the world, which you are. So
I
you're
am.
very casual. Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. So this helps lead into like, okay, listen, I love yoga pants. And you know what? That's okay. This is not, I'm never going to say to someone, don't love something. Well, maybe I will actually. I take that back. There are certain things like Crocs that I'm like, blah, but I know. I say to people, I'm like, you do you, but don't you put a pair of Crocs near me. Although my son owns a pair, and I'm like, close your eyes, Amy, avert your attention.
I cringe with the kids. Oof. They love the dang Crocs and the little like inserts you put in the Crocs. Yeah. But I can't do it. I am not that casual. I can't do Crocs.
Thank God that I knew we were friends. So anyway, so this is the concept of like, lean into your truth. Your truth is casual, but be better than yoga pants.
Yeah.
You can. And that's kind of the whole concept is what I'm not trying to take away from you is when I hear you're casual 3 times and you love yoga pants, what I really hear is I like to be comfortable.
That's what it comes down to. I like to be comfortable. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. Function first, fashion second. Mm-hmm. On anybody for anything, I don't care unless it's the Met Gala. We will remove that one, right? Yeah. There's no function in that. Just be crazy and be uncomfortable.
And survive,
And survive, exactly. But in the real world, yes, function should be first. You can make anything fashionable, start with the function. So for you, we have to be realistic that like, we don't want the top of pants like cutting into your waist. We don't want really structured, stiff materials. You have to kind of translate what it means, eventually equaling fashionable. So we worked together.
I was going to say, I think, were you surprised though? I think you were, if I remember right, when we did the closet consultation. Mm-hmm. So, the first step in the process where you're coming in, you're going through my closet with me, and I had done a huge overhaul before that. But because, I had stuff that like I kept from maternity, and I had stuff that I don't know. I was like, oh, I'll wear this someday. But anyways, when you came in,
you'll wear it someday. You've had it for like 7 years and you're like, oh, I might have that someday.
I might lose 30 pounds. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. These are all the discussions we have in the closet consultation about what is realistic of the what if this could happen. And we go through that so that there's more context to like, okay, what if, but is that a likely what if? Is that a realistic what if? Is that piece worth keeping for a what if? Are you going to tailor that? Is it still going to be in style? All the things. Right. And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Get rid of it. I want to note that when you cleaned out your closet, I always tell everybody to do a pre-clean before they work with me. But what did I give you before the pre-clean? Do you remember?
The checklist?
Yes, the checklist. It's like detailed homework of how you should be doing this clean out. So like you don't actually accidentally dump something you don't want to, but also, get rid of the top with the stains on it. I don't need to see that.
Yeah. It's, and I did that. And then there was still a handful of good maybes for me. I think my biggest thing was dresses.
Explain a maybe as well. Okay. This is worthy.
So for me, it was like my maybes were a lot of dresses because I work from home, virtually. A lot of the dresses that I had in there were actually back from pretty much my corporate days. So I haven't worked in corporate America in 9 years. And so, but that said, there was still dresses in there that I was like, well, maybe I'll need that. And to be fair, I just recently started going to more in-person networking events because we all know COVID made us be recluses, right? So I just wasn't in that. But anyways, I had so many of these dresses that were literally probably at least a decade old. And I was like, well, maybe I'll need them for a business event. And ultimately, it was just like, A, they were not in style anymore. And B, they just didn't fit me properly. And they made me feel wider or bigger or whatever. Because
can I give a C? Know. Yeah. There's a C, there's an A, there's a B. And the C is that's not your brand.
Yeah. Right.
These corporate business dresses are 100% not speaking to like creative female entrepreneurs who are moms and looking to scale their businesses and build systems. Yeah. And I'm like, why are you wearing a sheath dress from Ann Taylor? Ew. Okay, so this is an interesting concept right now, is that after working with you for over a year, seeing you every other week, like, because we do video calls, never had any idea there was any prep in your universe. Okay. Yeah, zero. And when we went through your closet, I was like, what's happening right now? Like, there's like hints of prep all over the place. And you had obviously done your style adjective quiz. And I was like, all right, I wonder where this prep is coming from. And then it was like all over when I saw your closet. So I always say, I'm like, your closet's trying to tell you something. Your style adjective quiz is trying to tell you something, is that, yes, it lives within you. And it like got lost along the way because you got so entrenched in the casual and the mom of it and the like, I'm virtual, I'm working from home, like whatever of it. Literally the whatever of it. And so you leaned into that triple casual and your prep got lost on the wayside. For clients, and with you, obviously, as one of my clients, come in and say, here's how we can bring that back. And if you never even knew it was there and you got it as a style adjective, I'm like, here's how we can like infuse this style adjective into your outfit. I think doing the style adjective quiz is the first part of like really uncovering what your like, you knew all along you were preppy, and yet the rest of the world had no idea, including someone that is a stylist that talked to you multiple times a month. So that's saying something right there, that it's like, let's pull this back out. Let's showcase this. Let's bring that Katelyn back a little bit. And then there's other people that like have never even figured out what their style is and have no idea, but yet they take the quiz and they're like, I do like this, or I do like that. And it's the infusion of the adjective, adding that little bit of prep back into your life, which is where we started taking it when we were creating your shopping list. Because
and the one other thing I wanted to say about the closet consultation was that I think something that was really, that you say that I really like and can lean into, is that you have your style adjectives, but ultimately you can still wear. So like if I wanted to be edgy or I wanted to be glam, like you can do that and dress up, so to speak, as a style adjective that's not yours. So for example, I hate dressing up day to day. There's a mom of one of my son's friends at school, and she is a lawyer, and she wears beautiful Lily Pulitzer dresses here in the South every single day. And she's very put together and looks fabulous. That just isn't me. But you know what I mean? Like when I go on vacation, I just mentioned to you before this, my daughter wants to match in Lily Pulitzer dresses on our vacation. They're fun. They're vacation dresses in my mind. That's how I would see them. That's something that I can pull out and put on. Or if I'm going to like a wedding or a gala or something like that, I do love to get dressed up in like a fancy ball gown or fancy, attire just every once in a while. It's not something I can do all the time. And I desperately want to pull that dress off and put on sweatpants when I get home. But it's fun for a few hours. And I enjoy doing that because it's not who I am. It is fun to dress up. It's just like when you're a little kid and you put on a princess dress. Like that's kind of what it feels like.
Yes. You're playing a different character, a role. Exactly. And like, that is something I talk about a lot. Thank you for bringing that up, person that knows my business so well.
I do love it because I have some of that stuff in my closet that we did keep because it wasn't, even though it wasn't a casual or a preppy, it was for those things and those moments where I'm like, well, that's my go-to wedding dress. I'll wear that to the weddings.
I want to be somebody else for the day. Like I always have some like more like feminine pieces, like A-line dresses or some florals, all not really me, but love playing that role at a baby shower or a bridal shower. Like I want to I want to pull out my statement studs and put on that A-line floral dress. And I'm like, who am I? And I'm like, I'm this. This is who I am right now. I mean, the other thing I love to do, and I talk about it a lot with my Pack with Purpose, which is all about like how you style yourself for a vacation and pack not the kitchen sink while styling yourself appropriately for said vacation, is that I love to lean into a theme. Like, love to lean into a theme. So I always start with, where am I going? Like, I went away this past weekend to my friend's lake house. And it was like, I'm like gonna lean into my preppy lake. And am I that preppy person? No, hell no, I'm not preppy. But I will take a shirt that could read preppy and throw it on, tie it up in such a way that reads preppy, and then put on an earring that's much more like edgy, because that is one of my style adjectives. So it's not like I'm somebody completely different. I just kind of pull in that adjective. I lean into the inspired style of where I am while still being authentically me. And that is really, the point of the style adjectives is, who are you authentically? And then play in the other style adjectives, if you will. So, okay. So cleaning out your closet, let's talk about it. How painful was it? Because people are always like, I don't want to do this. And you can say it was painful. Be honest, girl.
I didn't find it painful. I'm very type A, very organized. I love, like, when I can get into that, like, mindset of like, we're going to get rid of some shit today. Yeah. I lean into that and I'm good. So it was good. It was fun. It was helpful for me to kind of see, like, I think the most helpful piece of it for me was you explaining why something didn't fit me in the way that, works with my body, because there's definitely items in my closet that I liked. But you were like, well, this doesn't really work for you, though. Like, do you see where it's hitting you here? And do you see how it's accentuating this part of your body that you don't want to, that you said you don't want to accentuate, And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And you're like, it's not bad. I just think we could do better. And so I think that was helpful, because I ended up getting rid of more than I thought I was going to get rid of.
Yeah. Always.
I literally, like, at the end was like, okay, cool. I have no clothes. Great. But it was good in the sense that it forced me to, because it forced me to get rid of things. Because once you put that in that light and you're like, well, do you see why this actually looks like trash on you? I'm like, okay, I can't wear this.
I would never say that to somebody, and that.
She didn't say that, but she did, like, it's your own interpretation. When somebody points out flaws, and not that you were doing it, I mean, you're doing your job. Like, when you're like, hey, do you see how this isn't flattering in this way? It does make you then be like, well, then I don't want to wear that anymore. If that's not flattering, like, why would I keep that? And so that's how I, like, in my head, what went on, I was like, you're right. Like, it doesn't hit me well, or it doesn't accentuate this and this. And I'm like, okay. So that justifiably made it easier, because I think sometimes, and I don't know if other people feel this way, but for me, I'm like, I'm looking at everything that I'm tossing and I'm like, wow, there's thousands of dollars down the drain.
Yeah.
Because I spent so much money on all these things. And granted, some of them, were 10 years old, but like, but in reality, that's still true. And so I think at times I have held on to things because I'm like, well, this wasn't cheap, or I bought that last year and maybe it was a mistake purchase. But like, those are some of my reasons that also things landed still in my closet, was like, I couldn't justify getting rid of them because they weren't ugly or too small or whatever. But like you said, they didn't necessarily fit me perfectly. But when you put it out there and you're like, this really just isn't doing it for you. And, it made it feel more justified. Call it girl math, call it whatever you want to get rid of it.
You're right.
Something new.
We're justifying. That's kind of the whole conversation, is that it's, I'm never here to be like, that's ugly. That I'm here to say that doesn't quite work because, and I am just as quick to be like, oh my God, that's amazing. Because what I want to do at the end of the day is teach you and have you walk away with a knowledge base of like, here's the things that work. Here's the things that don't. So when you're doing that closet math of, holy shit, I spent X amount of dollars on all of this stuff, you stop and you go, well, I'm not going to buy that type of item again. Essentially, you stop these things that are leading to the bad closet math, and then you leading to the symptom of keeping things in your closet that you don't really like, don't really fit that well, aren't really wearing because you're going, oh shit, I spent X amount of dollars on it. Yeah, but you're not wearing it anyway. So now you're just like mocking yourself and you're just showcasing all the money you wasted. Putting it in a pile to clean out of your closet is actually meant to take away that feeling of like, oh shit, I spent all this money and now I'm just staring at it. Give it to a better home. Donate it to someone who is going to love it. Put it up for sale at a consignment shop and make some money back. Like there's a million other options because you're basically making room for things that you do love, that you are wearing, that you did spend. You might have spent money on them, but you know they look really well and you're going to really good and you're going to wear it all the time. My other favorite one, besides the, oh my God, I spend too much money so I won't get rid of it, is the opposite. I got it on sale. And I'm like, you got it for, so you only spend $50 and now you have something that doesn't fit you well. And if you had just spent $100 on something else, you'd be wearing it all the time. Also, bad closet math.
I was used to being the girl with the really full closet with a ton of things. And so that was also a transition that I struggled with, I would say even before we met, was like, getting used to wearing something more than once and it not feeling like wrong necessarily to me, because that was a wild concept, because that was what was so deep rooted in me when I was younger, was like, you don't wear things more than once or twice. And so now I'm like, okay, I'm going to invest in quality pieces.
So much to unpack here. Dr. Salingers, and let me put my doctor hat on right now and get into it, because I always say 80% therapist, 20% stylist. Everything you just said, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm processing. And first thought is like, yes, we are talking about breaking psychological patterns. And I think when you're evolving in your style, that is the most difficult thing to evolve in, because your brain is set to a certain way. Your brain is set to go, a t-shirt is $10, shorts are $15, a dress is $20. And this kind of like you've locked yourself into a price point that is cheap shit. Essentially, because you were younger when you were doing all of this. Also, yes, you're frivolous because you're 20, where you're like, I'm not wearing this shirt more than once. And it's like, okay, so you're buying garbage that honestly is going to fall apart if you wear it more than 3 times anyway. Because somewhere in so you have now set your whole structure of shopping and styling to a top is only $10. I'm only wearing it once and then I get rid of it. And I am asking you to reframe the entire concept, because what I promote is owning less and styling more. When you really lean into buying good quality foundational level items, this would be the base level of your wardrobe, that are good quality, good material, really well fitted, most likely a decent designer, and can be worn repeatedly without anybody being any the wiser, you are going to spend a lot more up front, knowing that you're actually saving money, because these items are just telling you, I have a button down I love by a brand I suggested to you, Rails. And I'm like, I've had it for 10 years. And a cheap piece of shit would never last for 10 years. I mean, on so many different levels. The goal here as we mature, and so does our wardrobe, is that we are buying that quality that not only is it going to last and we're going to be able to wear it for years to come, because by the way, who wants to buy a whole new wardrobe? Who has the time? You were 20 back then. Like shopping was an activity.
I had all the time.
Right. There is no time for this shit. So we got to have, this is a time management situation as well. But additionally, what's different now is when you do buy those really quality foundational pieces, you, like I said, You are restyling them, re-wearing them. Nobody is any the wiser. So it's not like you're wearing, quote unquote, the same frilly dress to two different events where everybody's like, holy shit, does she have on the same outfit again? No, we're not doing that. When you buy the right foundation and then build up from there and buy quality pieces, you're going to be able to resell and resell and resell, and nobody is going to be any wiser. And you don't need to spend your time going shopping some more, shopping some more, shopping some more. And because you're only going to buy things you capital LOVE, love, you are not going to want, for example, that top to wear out after, 1 year, because you love it and you want to wear it over and over. So you want to spend more money on said top. So yes, we did do a bit of a shift in your mindset. And I would actually say that was one of the biggest challenges for you, as well as me putting some different silhouettes on you. Like you definitely, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, girl, but it was overwhelming for you. And it was definitely uncomfortable for you to be trying these new silhouettes out.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I'm a Target V-neck gal. Like the Target V-neck was my silhouette all in all. And that's what I leaned into. And again, going back to like the reprogramming, reprocessing, like I think this is still important because I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes me feel girly, but like I love having a little bit of cleavage and like showing off the girls because I have them. Why not flaunt them? And I'm not talking about in like a,
gratuitous way.
Yes, but that was one of the things. I'm like, well, I don't want to just like feel. And I think that's the hard part about becoming a mom is like, I still want to feel like sexy and
of course
feminine and you know what I mean? But also like in a modest feels like such a strong word because I don't think anyone would describe me as modest, ask any of my friends, but like not in a modest way, like I wanted it to be in a age appropriate way. And so
we don't need a nip slip. We're like past the nip slip portion of
or
life.
like the push-up bra.
Oh my God.
Where they're all up there.
And all of it.
Do you remember there was a Victoria's Secret? So I used to have, and not that anybody is sitting here staring at my boobs, but I used to have when I was younger, I was like literally had no boobs. I was so tiny, but I played sports. I was like a stick. And so I remember in high school, there was a Victoria's Secret bra that had like these jelly push-ups and like it made your boobs 2 sizes bigger than what they were.
The miracle bra.
Yeah. And I freaking loved that. That was like my personality because I had no boobs and then I got boobs and I'm like, all right, well.
Till a guy felt you up and was like, what's happening here? I was like, don't mind the padding.
Don't mind the jelly inserts. But they looked good in clothes because when you have no boobs, you're like, I just want boobs.
Yeah.
But anyways, so now I like, obviously now in a respectable manner for a 30-something-year-old woman. But I just didn't want to lose that. I wanted to still like have clothes that fit me well, that gave me a figure, that gave me, shape. I'm I would say curvy gal. I'm not like overly obnoxiously curvy, but like I have curves to my body. I have hips. I have a butt. I have boobs. Like
all the things.
And I want to be able to like showcase that figure in a way that is attractive to me and looks appropriate on me. And I think that's where I was getting stuck was like, well, how do we do this in this season and where I'm at? And, going from the other big thing was going from like work mode to mom mode and making sure that like what we bought fit both of those because I really I can't be, dressing up all day and then changing clothes. Like I wanted it to flow naturally. So that was also really important to me as we were getting into that shopping part.
I call it a transferable wardrobe where like, it's very rare in this day and age, especially since COVID, where like you have work clothes and you have mom clothes and you have dinner date clothes. Like, no, the way that I work is that base that we're buying you is going to be restyled in a million different ways. And we're going to have different pieces that are going to take it to different levels, the dressy, the casual, different events, different audiences, all the things. And I think part of that is finding designers that work for you. And actually, this is a perfect segue and kind of a perfect wrap up of this conversation is before we got on to film this today, we briefly were chatting about some of the remaining items that you were going to buy from the shopping list I put together. And you said something that I was just so proud of, which is how you were filtering when you went online. You were like, well, I love that brand Packed, because let's be honest, it's basically washable t-shirt style pieces with built-in bras in a lot of the items, which was one of your requests for me. And like, I love a good request because built-in bras in adult clothing that isn't workout isn't a thing that you can find that easily. But this brand offers that. And so you were like, I filtered it right to Packed because I know that brand works for me. That's like, we got to give,
I should get a golf clap, right?
You get a golf clap for that. I mean, that is the concept. And when I work with people, like, I know a lot of people go back to the same brands over and over, and that's fine because you know it works. That doesn't mean you find one, dress and you buy it in 8 colors. My limit is usually a max of 2 colors in any given item, unless it's like a t-shirt or something nondescript, basically. But I want you to have those core brands that work for you. I have core brands that I suggest to all my clients. In fact, I'll throw it in the show notes. Check out my favorite brand store and the items that I suggest, because when people are like, oh, do all your clients look the same? The answer is hell no. All my clients are completely different, therefore look completely different. But I certainly have go-to brands of like my favorite comfortable shoes, my favorite built-in bra dresses. Like I could go on and on. So the fact that you are starting to build your repertoire of brands that work for you is the whole goal. We are here to make your life easier while also keeping you authentic to your style adjectives, your lifestyle, your body type, all the things. And at the other side, I want you to wake up every day, get dressed easily, look in the mirror and be like, damn, you're a hot bitch. I mean, something like that.
I will say we went to a concert on Thursday and it is easier also, I think, when you have less in your wardrobe because you're not like sorting through everything, being like, oh, nothing to wear. And it was easy for me to just be like, okay, yeah, this looks good to me. I'm going to wear this. Great.
I mean, if that isn't the perfect ending to a conversation with a client of mine, I don't know what is, because that is the whole goal. And I am so happy that you feel that way. I know you look fabulous because I did it. And because you are fabulous. Thank you so much for spending another hour with me, girl. We can't get enough of each other.
I know, right? When are you coming to visit?
I mean, don't tease me with a good time. You'll wear that dress. Right. Listen, I will lean into the Southern style and do something real cute. Let me tell you. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. Tell everybody where they can find you, your website, your social, all the things.
Best place to find me is on Instagram. So my Instagram handle is Katelyn E Hamilton. So KATELYNE.
We'll put it down here.
It'll be in the show notes. But
it's already in the show notes. It's already on the screen, girl.
There's like 6 different ways you can spell Katelyn, I think. So anyways, or KatlynEHamilton.com is my website. I love to hear from everyone, have good conversations. I have, if you can't tell, relationships with roots is really important to me. So I love my clients. I love to build relationships with them outside of just the business setting, because it definitely enhances the relationship and the business side too. So would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for listening and joining me on my style journey. And you'll have to come check it out to check out my Instagram to see what my level up style looks like.
We're also going to throw a few images at the end here. You're about to take a bunch of pictures of yourself, of a packed dress, the denim dress you have on right now. We got a few looks of Katelyn at the end here. Thank you so much. And I mean, I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. See ya.
Thank you so much again, Katelyn, for joining me on this episode of the Style Method Podcast. Obviously, I love hanging out with you. We do it all the time. But being able to talk about what it was like working together is amazing. I mean, it was fun. It was exciting. It was also just helpful to all those people out there who are a little nervous about the idea of working with a stylist. Now you know what it's like. It's meant to push you a little bit, but in the best way possible. And if you want a few more styling tips, styling tricks, don't forget to follow me at social at StyleMethod Co. That's CO across the board. And if you enjoyed the Style Method podcast, please, I would be ever so grateful if you left me a review wherever you get your podcast. Talk about what you learned. What do you enjoy about it? Let the people know. Again, thank you so much. And I will see you next time on the Style Method Podcast.